It wasn't that long ago we had a future. I mean, we still have a future now, but not here. And when I mean here, I mean in Earth.
Well, it's not only in sci-fi movies that scientists have to step up and save the world. Russia's space agency is preparing to face the threat of a distant asteroid called Apophis. At more than 300 meters across, it may be capable of causing widespread destruction on Earth.
This year.
What are the odds?
What you see is happening now.
101 degrees Fahrenheit. It's the hottest day ever recorded.
Well, it's not every day scientists discover a new planet, especially one that may contain water. KITV4's Catherine Cruz talked with the Hawaii astronomers at the core of this new discovery. Catherine?
Well, the new planet is more than 20,000 light years away, which essentially means...
One day, suddenly out of nowhere, the news hit us like a bomb, and just like that, it wiped up all our dreams and wishes, and everything we thought was sure and right just vanished like sand on our feet. At the beginning, it took me a while to believe that God had forsaken us, that He left us on our own luck. Perhaps everything was a lie, or maybe I was still dreaming. Maybe it was a nightmare. How I wished. But quickly truth would hit me again.
First time, astronomers have found a nearby planet where we're told that it's possible that life could survive. They're calling it the Goldilocks planet, where it's not too hot, not too
However,
cold.
we hit the
just
jackpot
right.
on this one. Out of 500 planets that we discovered orbiting other stars, this is the first to potentially have liquid oceans, perhaps even fish, perhaps even life forms like we find on the Earth. We don't know for sure, but now this is the holy grail.
Because where there's water, there's usually life.
The detectives say, follow the money. We scientists say, follow the water, liquid oceans, because that's where life and DNA first got off the ground. So if this planet has a liquid ocean, chances are it has at least microbial life, and who knows, maybe beyond that, intelligent creatures.
I mean, how do we know this? This is, I was reading, that even though this is right next to our solar system,
Hop, skip, and a jump.
A hop, skip, and it would take generations to get out there.
Well, what we do
so
is we look for the
technology
wobbling of
that
the
allows
mother
us to
star.
know?
Because if you have a star system, the planet is invisible, you can't see it, but the star itself wobbles. And we can calculate the wobbling very precisely. So we know the orbit of this planet, and it's not too close where water would turn to steam. It's not too far when water would turn to ice. But it's just
the very next day after the news, it was insanity. Everything was on fire, everything was broken. There were people running everywhere, trying to find food, trying to survive somehow. And just like that, everything was over, even before the asteroid hit us. At least, that's what we thought would happen. But the future wasn't tomorrow, next week, next year, or next century. It was a place with a form, a structure, a style. True. We didn't know exactly what the future would be like, but we knew that it had to be one of a few alternatives, some good, some very bad. The future was a world with a distinct architecture. It had its own way of speaking. It had its own technology. It was for all intents and purposes a different land where people dressed differently, talked differently, ate differently, and even thought differently. It was where scientists were wizards, where machines were magically effective and efficient, and where tyrants were at least romantically evil rather than banal, and where the heavens were fairylands where dreams could literally come true. For people of my generation who had lived through the tarnished promises of the atomic age, the space age, the computer age, and this, that, and another age, the year 2055 was a gateway. We waited 20, 30, 40 years and some longer to pass through that gate, into a time when spaceships the size of ocean, linear split between colonized planets. Why were we off base? It isn't simple that the predictions were wrong. No one with half a brain really expected that sort of accuracy. But soon, the blue would turn into red, and stars would start falling over our heads like tears from God. And that I knew for sure. Our only hope was the nearly discovered Planet B. Here in NASA, we didn't know that much about Planet B. We only knew it had water and some oxygen, but did it have life? How stable was this planet? And would there be any sort of food or fuel? That we weren't sure. But we didn't have that much time. Soon we would find out first-handed, because extinction was coming really fast. Survival is emerging from a natural or man-made disaster in a better position than the average person. So quitting is never an option and can never come to mind. Surviving is not only a question of physical strength and knowledge, it's also being psychologically prepared to the unprepared. We can never know when some disaster will strike in our lives. Knowing the basic elements of survival can be the difference between life or death. And when everything changes, even the planet we live in, to be prepared is the key to stay alive, because everything we thought we knew is gone, and just like that, our life changes dramatically. To survive, you don't only need to learn how to manage on your own, but you have to learn how to survive in a new and unorganized community. Forget what you had and forget what you were. You are starting from zero, and you will need to know what to carry to this new planet, because you can't simply carry everything. It's not like changing house. So what's most important to have when starting a new life in a new planet? I believe knowledge. Knowledge is the key to everything, and with a couple of basic objects, you can be the next generation of MacGyver. In Planet B, the closest thing to McDonald's is most probably this. So why not get started right now? That is, if you want to survive. And what kind of people will we need to build quickly this new life in this new planet? Well, I believe we would need doctors and architects, scientists, nurses, engineers, soldiers, police officers, even teachers, dentists, pilots, veterinarians, constructors, pharmacists, and so on and on and on. So, what are the things you must carry? Well, you will need cans, solar panels, generators, knives, lanterns, ropes, a greenhouse, seeds, flowers, animals, computers, books, radios, a first aid kit, a watch, weapons for protection, explosives for mining, a warehouse truck, soil stabilizer, loaders, track excavator, digger, a pump, a compressor, and clothes, but not for ladies. We will need all sorts of people with knowledge to build back a planet from ground zero. But no one said it would be an easy ride, and it's not. But I believe it's our fate to be here. It is our destiny. I believe this journey holds for each and every one of us the very meaning of our lives. I will not give up. We can't give up. We owe it to our children.